27. It doesn't matter what I've been through. I should grow up too, but I still act like I'm...
Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Also welcome if you are new. I am so excited for today's video because I finally got to do the boys' bedroom. I really wanted to make their room a priority, and we finally got to a point where I got the stuff we ordered and we could finally knock this out. And this wall was one of the things I was excited to tear down, and even more excited when I found a little surprise that you'll see in just a second.
When you love and it gets me down, down, down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. Don't know how it feels to be someone you love and it gets me down. I let it slip somehow.
Oh my gosh!
Pour a drink 'cause it's effective.
Oh my goodness. I can almost guarantee that this, is a window. Why would you cover up a window?
I really miss you now. But I had you.
Alright, so I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Cambria, how did you guys not know there was a window behind this faux accent wall thing? And it's the side of the house, and we just had honestly never looked that close at the side of the house to realize that there was another window here. But we were so excited to find it because it was the only thing I didn't love about the boys' room is it was so dark with only having the one window. So we were very, very excited. Bobby, if you notice, he had his phone out before because he was Marco Poloing family, showing them that, hey, we found this hidden window. It did cause a little bit more work on this first day than I was expecting. I figured I'd have some patchwork and stuff, but we had to reframe out the bottom part of this window because they had completely taken off the ledge. So on top of demoing out everything, I also had to go in and do a lot of fixing that I wasn't originally expecting to do.
Don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down, down, down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, had you by my side. It was all I ever needed.
So this was the biggest pain, is a lot of the glue that they used had pulled off the mudding and spackling that was done to this wall. So I had to go in, I had to fill everything, retexture the wall. I tried a couple different ways. I'll be honest, I hate the spray texture. I tried it and it just was not working. Luckily, I knew I was going to be going in and sanding, so that helped to really even it out some more. Next day, we patched a bunch of stuff, put in a new little rim for the window. I still have to patch underneath it, but I wanted the silicone to dry. But today I get to sand the walls using this new guy. We're gonna see how he works. It's a power wall sander. And mainly I'm just trying to get more of a knockdown texture because this is like super textured. I don't want to completely have it flat, but just smooth it out a little bit. So we're gonna go through, it'll blend in all these areas that we patched, and then I can paint. But this guy should be interesting. We'll see how he works. Now, I knew I wouldn't be able to knock these walls down completely. The only way to really get them like super smooth would be completely retexturing them, which honestly, just between time and then or paying someone to do it just didn't seem feasible. So going over just with this sander to just give it more of a knockdown look really helped, one, with the look, but also just thinking in the future. Especially my kids. They love to put their feet on the wall when they're playing their games or in their bed or something like that, and the walls just get really dirty. So knocking it down will make it a lot easier in the future to be able to actually clean these walls. Now, you guys, if you've been here for a while, you know I love neutrals. I love using neutrals in my home because I love to decorate. And the easiest way to change up your space is if you have neutral walls, because then I can change my pillows or my curtains or my decor, and I can really give a new look to a room without having to completely repaint. However, I do not feel that way in my kids' room. I find it really important to, one, have fun with it, and two, make sure it's a space that they really enjoy. So I am going in with a basic white on the walls, which this was their recommendation. If you've been watching since this whole renovation series started, I had painted some white swatches on the wall for the rest of the house, trying to decide if I wanted a more warm or more cool, like what type of neutral I wanted. And the boys really liked this white. However, they also love the color red. They're very into video games, so my accent you're going to see is going to be red. But first, I wanted to add some citrus strip to this dresser. I got this dresser at Goodwill along with 2 nightstands, which are in my and Bobby's room, for only $20. Now, I had to kind of change my plan around because after I put this citrus strip on it, I thought this was a solid wood piece based off of the weight and everything. I really thought it was solid wood. We quickly came to find that it is not solid wood. I'm honestly not 100% sure what it's made out of, but I wanted to try stripping it, assuming that the top and the drawers were wood, and that's okay. It's kind of the thing when you're doing projects, or if you're thrifting. Unless I would have found a piece that actually was still in wood tones, it's really hard to tell what exactly they're made out of. The other thing is the drawer handles I thought would just come off with a little screw in the back, and they're actually built in. So Bobby ends up cutting them off, and I sand them down to the best of my ability. And then you're going to see that we end up just painting the whole thing, and it turns out really, really cute for the boys' bedroom. Like I said, I love neutrals, but you're going to come to see that when it comes to my kids' rooms, I like going with what they like and what they enjoy. And for them, that's color.
All day and night, all day and night, all day and night, living life to the maximum. All day and night, all day and night, all day and night, I'll be up all night. Living life to the maximum.
Now, this project did take all week. So you're going to see a lot of outfit changes throughout this video. It was definitely a long process between taking off the baseboards, putting in new baseboards, which you're going to see, and finding that window. There's just a lot that had to go on in this room. But here I'm just taking off this citrus strip. This is now the second time I have used citrus strip, which it has worked really, really well. I do know the biggest thing with this is taking it off before it completely dries, because any of the areas that had completely dried are a lot harder to get off, which is why I put that saran wrap on it. And that was actually a recommendation from a couple of you guys recommend the saran wrap to really help it like sit on there longer and help it keep working. But now I'm working on the accent wall or walls in the boys' room. I knew I wanted something a little bit more abstract, so I'm going around with some painter's tape. I didn't really have a plan. The only thing I knew is I wanted this to kind of flow onto 3 of the walls, be like one wall as the main one, but kind of wrap around the room to give it a little bit more of a fun vibe to it. So I'm just kind of going with my heart here and putting the tape where I think it'll work. They're not all completely the same size stripes. They're not all perfectly straight stripes, but I think in the end it turned out really, really well. Now, I did learn a little trick though with the painter's tape, and if you have textured walls, which this house, as you noticed, has very textured walls, and my old house had very textured walls, which is why I never used painter's tape. I always found it easier just to cut in by hand, because the textures were always just, it would always seep through. So I read where if you take the base color on the wall and paint that over the painter's tape first, it'll help with any bleed through and help give you a much straighter and cleaner line on textured walls. And I will say it worked really well. The only thing I recommend is really, really making sure that tape is down firm. So going over it a couple times and making sure it's really, really on there makes all the difference. But you're gonna see in a little bit, after I'm done painting, when I take the tape off, that there's a couple areas that I had to go in and fix, but for the most part, it left really nice lines. So this is definitely a very bright red, which is also why I wanted to give it a more abstract look, because I think a whole wall in this red would have been a lot. But I brought home a couple paint samples, and this is the one the boys loved the most, which I think because this is like your classic gaming red. Like if you ever see Roblox and things like that, like when there's red, it's this classic bright red. So this is the one they wanted, so this is what we ended up going with. And I think overall, when everything comes together, it's like that perfect amount of pop of color for a kid's room, and I don't think it is too overwhelming once it's all said and done.
But I'll be okay if you stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay. If you stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay. We were never meant to last, but all the fun times we had, I'll never forget. We will always share a bond, no matter what, 'cause you have a piece of my heart, and I know that we're not perfect.
So I know a lot of you guys are new here, or maybe this is your first time seeing one of my channels, so I want to take the time and introduce myself. My name is Cambriea. I am a mom of 3. I have Alexander, who is my oldest. We call him Xander. Bjorn, who is my second, and Alexander is 9, almost 10. Bjorn is 6, almost 7. And then we have little Miss Freya. She is our youngest, who will be 2 in just a couple of weeks. I can't believe that girl is almost 2 already. I also am with my husband, Bobby. We just celebrated our 12-year anniversary, and we just bought this house in Florida. My husband was in the military for over 20 years. He just was medically retired, and we had the opportunity to move from Wisconsin to Florida. And we picked Florida, and specifically the Volusia County area of Florida, because my parents and my aunt and uncle actually live down here. So even though we were moving to a whole nother state, we still have family very, very close by, which has been amazing. On my channel, I usually do a ton of cleaning motivation and decorating and stuff like that. But since getting this new house, there's been a ton of renovation videos, and probably will be a good amount of room makeovers and renovation videos for at least a couple more months until we get this house exactly how we want it. This house is a little bit of a fixer-upper. It had a lot of not so great DIY work done in it before we bought it. So just going through and updating and fixing any issues that we may have, as well as just making it our own, making it our home. I really enjoy making spaces for us so that we're comfortable in it. And yeah, we love this area, and that is why we ended up going with a fixer-upper, is because you can buy a new house, but you can't guarantee that new house is going to be in the perfect location, and this house was literally in the perfect location for us. So we took the chance and bought this one, and we have been loving every minute of making it our own. Literally pouring now. But, so that little trick actually did work for the most part, where I really made sure the paint or the tape was on good. It's really good. There are some areas that I need to go in and touch up. But I would say that little hack does actually work, because for the most part, it's pretty good. Like I said, there are some areas that I'll go in with a detailed brush, but I'm pretty happy with those lines. Didn't make any sense. How can I get you close? I see why. Now I'm just going in and painting what we're going to be using as baseboards. We ended up going with 1x4s. One, these were a bit cheaper, and 2, I like the basic clean lines of the 1x4s, because I feel like you go too ornate and it's going to age your space a lot sooner. So this to me gave it a much more modern feel, because they're a bit chunkier than what was here before, but they're also not going to lose their style. But going into the next day, like I said, with that dresser, we had to kind of change gears. So I am going to be painting the whole thing black. I had some black spray paint on hand, so that's what I ended up just going in with and spray painting the entire base black. I ended up doing about 3 coats of this, but I only show you guys one. And then we ended up going with the exact same red that was on the wall and using that on the drawers. Don't mind little Miss Freya coughing in the background. She is always my little shadow and always around me, voiceovers and all.
Let me clear my head and get rid of come over, let me get to know ya. Hey, nah, 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 nah. Delve into emotion, leave us in this moment.
Alright, well, it's about time I got a talking spot in this video. So, what we got going here is we're redoing the boys' dresser to color match the room and the design of the room. One of the ways of doing that is obviously painting or restaining, stuff like that. Another way to do it as well is to add hardware. So you probably saw me earlier in the video cutting off these handles, these built-in handles, with the Sawzall. Well, now I'm going to add the hardware. Here's the caveat to adding the hardware. It might not be perfect what you buy. So here's what we're going with. We got this handle here, just a single screw. Be cautious if you buy this, that this little part where it screws in, one of the ones we bought didn't have a screw in part, like it was just missing. So quality control, people, come on now. But here's the other thing with this, is that sometimes when you redo these dressers and stuff like that, this may be too thick for the hardware they give you, right? So look at that. This is just gonna make it. But now if I add in the distance from this ledge, look it don't make it. It don't work. So what I have to do is, one, I gotta take out this screw for all these, drill through to get a hole all the way to the front. Then I have to take another drill bit and drill out just this ledge so I can get the screw to this point inside of the wood, so it can actually grip onto this piece and become one. So that's my look for how it'll look when it's done, and here's my before. So I got to do this 5 more times. Trial and error figuring out the first one, but I got it done. If you're wondering where we got these from Lowe's. Not sponsored video by Lowe's. Lowe's, contact us if you want to sponsor a video. But yeah, we got these handles from Lowe's. So I'm going to do some install here, so stay tuned, check it out, subscribe, and if you haven't subscribed, do so.
Used to falling. I'm tired of feeling blue when I lose myself to love. Yeah, I just wanna lose my breath. Yeah, I just wanna lose my breath. Yeah, I just wanna lose my breath.
There you go, simple as that. All you really need is a set of drill bits, screwdriver, mechanical or regular handheld, and that's it. Install it. Look, now it's got the fresh new look. Can't go wrong there. We got a couple of them. You know, it's always good. So just be careful not to drill too far. Otherwise, you'll have too much screw. Kind of like that one over there. I had to use some wood filler. Oops. Hopefully it works.
I can see there are different paths laid out for you.
So to give the room a more cohesive look, we decided to change the closet doors to have the same hardware as the dresser. Don't mind the messy closet. Yes, it still needs some big organization, but one project at a time. One project. Bobby giving his, Vanna White display of the new doors. We were going through and doing a lot of little tedious work in this room, changing out hardware, changing out door handles. You'll see that a little bit later, but even changing out the old outlets. You're gonna notice Bobby doing that here in a second, and this is one way to really modernize and make your space feel new, is getting rid of those old outlets. So we're going with a clean white look, and from those like rounded old yellowish looking outlets to a nice clean square look on everything. as you can see, we're just trying to kill two birds with one stone. So as Bobby's going around and changing out all the outlets, I'm going around and putting in all the baseboards. I will say, and you'll see this later, the biggest thing about replacing baseboards is do not skip the tedious work of caulking and filling in nail holes and any seams. That is the biggest thing that'll make your space look like cheaply DIY'd. I find it very important to take the time, and it is tedious and it does add a good amount of time to your project, but to do it correctly makes the whole space feel just more put together.
Another little like hot tip for y'all is when you're doing electrical, any switches or any outlets, take the back and write what circuit breaker it's on, because not every circuit breaker panel is super accurate. Ours in this house is not accurate at all. So I just put on here just a little number 23, because this one is on circuit breaker 23. That way in the future, if you decide, hey, I don't like the way this looks, all you gotta do is take off the front or the front cover and you see 23. Oh, so I gotta go to circuit breaker 23. Shut it off. That's just a little hot, quick tip when doing electrical outlets.
So I tried the tape trick with caulking on these floors. I've seen a lot of people do it where it's like, oh, it just leaves a much cleaner line and all this stuff. I'll be honest, I did not like it. I don't think it left a really clean line at all. So I'm going to stick with making sure I always have a wet washcloth on me to, one, clean my fingers, but also give a cleaner line around baseboards. Just my little hint. I don't think the tape was worth the time and effort. I felt like I still had to go back in and touch up, so my fingers and a wet cloth is what I personally recommend. You'll also notice Bobby did a lot of the caulk work in the garage or under the sunken family room and stuff like that. But when it comes to this type of caulk work, I do it because he does not like the tedious work, and he would definitely be a lot more messy. So I'm going around doing all of that, and we'll be doing it with all the baseboards and everything. But it was getting late and I wanted to get the kids' dresser in. The kids had actually been sleeping in the family room the past couple of nights because either wet paint or just not wanting to drag their dressers in and out. But on this final day of pulling the room together, I didn't let them in the room at all. I wanted it to be a complete secret. Yes, they saw the paint and they saw little things, but as I pulled it all together and I knew the biggest transformation would happen, they were definitely kicked out of their room for the day. So as much as I could link off of Amazon, I did link. So if you check out my Amazon store in my description, everything that I got from Amazon, I have linked on there. I did shop with a budget in mind. So when it came to like all the furniture and stuff like that, I ended up spending under $1,000, which I think for a desk, a bed, computer chairs, and everything that I ended up getting was a really good deal. But like I said, I have that all linked in the description. So if you have a little boy or girl that are super into video games, these curtains are linked down below. I will say these curtains didn't go all the way to the floor. That actually was a plan. My kids aren't the cleanest, so to help with keeping them clean and knowing that they'd be behind furniture, I ended up getting them slightly shorter than the floor. That way they wouldn't drag, and it would just keeping everything together a lot easier. But now just going in and making the bunk bed. I actually really like this bunk bed. It went together super easy, and it was really sturdy, like so sturdy, which is always a good thing when you have very rambunctious children. Also, if you guys are still watching, I want to thank each and every one of you for still being here. I know this video is a little bit longer than my normals, but this was a long project and I didn't want to split it up into 2 videos. But make sure you stick around till the very end. I have all the amazing before and afters, as well as the boys' reaction. However, if you are brand new here, I will mention this because it's very obvious with their reaction. My youngest son, Bjorn, does suffer from pretty severe eczema. You'll notice him itching a lot in this video, and he has some dark under eye circles. That's all from his eczema when it flares up. It's not horrible right now, but I know a lot of people always question when he is itching so much. So that is the reason I wanted to point that out, that just so everyone knows right away, because he was definitely having a day of his skin being super dry and itchy. So I know that was kind of random, but I always get messages about him when it comes to stuff like that. So I wanted just to make sure to let everyone know. Is it just me, or has things like eczema and allergies and asthma just become very common in kids? I actually, whenever I talk about Bjorn's different conditions, have so many people that say how their kids have eczema and stuff. And I feel like when I was younger, it wasn't as big of a thing. Or was it just because I was young and dumb and didn't pay attention? I don't know.
Spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.
See, we're just really going in and doing all the finishing touches. So these are the 2 different posters that the kids have. They have their Baby Yoda, love their Baby Yoda, and their Cobra Kai. And then Bobby is going in and replacing the doorknob. Another thing, if you are doing a big renovation, is I recommend tedious stuff like outlets and doorknobs and stuff like that, taking it one room at a time, because it can get so overwhelming having to replace all the outlets and all of the doorknobs and all of those things. At least for Bobby and I, we get overwhelmed by that. So we're taking it as, okay, we did the boys' room, so we're going to update those outlets. We're going to update the doorknobs. And then the next project coming up is Freya's room, and we're going to do it the same way in her room. But here you see Bobby putting together their new gamer chairs. I was super excited about these chairs when I found them on Amazon. They are not that expensive, but they have a bunch of really fun features, and the boys absolutely loved them. Like, it was probably one of the best purchases in the entire room. But you are also going to notice that I ended up getting the kids their school backpacks also, and they didn't see them until this video. So I can't wait for you guys to see their reactions, especially Bjorn when it comes to those backpacks. It was something he was really wanting. And of course, Bobby had to check out the chair for napability. But I think these chairs are the coolest.
Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want.
And now we're just doing the last little finishing touches. I had actually gone to At Home because there's just a couple little things that I didn't have, or a couple little spaces that felt empty that I wanted to fill. So I got that little game light. I also got these hooks that we're going to be putting the boys' backpacks on, and then little shelves to put right next to the bed. That way they could put their water at night or any little things. And I got them a little beanbag chair as well. All things you're going to see. Also, let me know in the comments below if you know who Lanky Box is. It is my kids' absolute favorite YouTube channel, and that is why they were obsessed with these backpacks when they saw them, because I tried to get them for them last year and couldn't. So this year I ordered them extra early to make sure they came on time.
Give in, keep yourself thinking. Tonight, let go as a dreaming. I was feeling down low, you just brought me straight up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, being higher than the ceiling. I feel everything is spinning. I was feeling down low, you just brought me straight up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip, trip, trip with you? Leading out for you, leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me trip, trip, trip with you? Leading out for you, leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me? So won't you let me?
All right, so we are coming to the end of getting it all together, and for my favorite part, the befores and afters. And I tried to be really, really good about taking befores and afters, because I know in the past people said that they went too fast and I needed to take slower afters and more detailed afters. So let me know if I did a better job this time, but I hope you guys really enjoy all of these befores and afters. Also, wait till the very end and you actually get to see the boys' reaction as well.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. Daddy's massive.
Bjorn, turn around.
Turn around.
Xander, look what Bjorn's looking at. You like it? Look at, you have your own special gaming chairs.
I call Thomas.
What?
What are these? What are these? In the doctors.
No, it is not, but look it over here.
That's what that.
So I got that.
Or into a USB.
Try it out. I got you that so that you can also sit over there, but you can bring it over here as well
to play games.
to play games on your TV. So you have that nice comfy chair.
This is sick.
This is sick.
What else your chair does?
Look at
Check this out.
What is that cord? Show me the cord.
This cord, you plug into your computer to charge it and to run it, and it has like a mini back massager.
It also has a
Check
footstool.
this out. Watch.
Look it.
Not like that. You gotta sit in the chair and your feet go on there. Oh my goodness, kid.
I didn't open them.
Wait.
There, your feet go there.
So now, when you're like fidgeting with your feet, Daddy, push them in. Look it. You can have your foot up and be pushed in under your desk.
Yeah.
And I like the light.
You like the light?
Look at you could sleep in your chair too.
No sleeping in your chairs.
I just trying to set it or jumping inside.
No. Which one do you want?
I want to like this one. Let's just see how it looks.
They're both pretty cool, aren't they?
I want it one.
Okay.
The surprise was the chair.
Do you like the chairs the most?
My day was divided the backpack.
I knew you would really like the backpacks.
And the chairs.
And you like the chairs?
I'm guessing you go first.
Did you look at your dresser, how it looks?
Yeah.
Do you like the red and black?
Yeah.
Do you like your curtains?
Maybe
See the curtains are controllers?
Yeah. I want to